Pretty good, eh? So, this is the update number 7. Lights are working, they're on. 4 in the back, and then 3 down the middle, and this thing is lit up. So, explanation basically. There's a few things along the way that I wish I sort of slightly did differently. So we'll start with the wiring, I suppose, is the easy thing. So, it's not easy, it's quite complex actually. We have our control unit, that's the fuses, the 230 RCBs. There's leads coming from that all the way along, sort of like around the back, that go to the leisure battery and the vehicle battery. So this Sargent little control panel, so I can press this little button and it tells me my leisure battery's health, i.e. how much charge or power it has. I can do a similar thing with the vehicle battery, but you don't necessarily want to be running everything in the van off the vehicle battery. But as you can see, like, the lights are significantly brighter when they're on the vehicle battery, because the vehicle battery works, whereas the leisure battery is just some old sort of piece of shit that we found just to test stuff with, really. So yeah, this Sargent control panel goes to the main box, and that has the lead, like a control lead that goes back. All of the lights go back to the individual fuses, but before they get to the fuses, we've split them off so they come to these set of dangling switches everywhere, so that I can have a switch to turn individual lights off, and then another one down here which will be beside the bed, so that I don't have to get up to turn lights off. And we've left some space for like a awning light off the back. The fan power, so these sort of spade connectors, again back to the RCB and fuse box down underneath. And yeah, that's about it. So the lights come down through the roof. Obviously we did all the wiring for all that, and it was all sort of sorted out, which is great. And what I've done is just used like bullet connectors. But the thing that I would have thought I would have done, if I would have thought about it slightly more, is, for example, like these big circular lights, I cut a hole, or drilled a hole, when I put the cladding over, and it was just the thickness of the actual wire, and then I did all of the cladding, and then when I came to actually do the lights, obviously these spade connectors are in the way, so what I then had to do was Dremel out around the cladding to try and push the spade connectors through that hole, so that then I could hide all the wiring. Similarly, the same thing occurred for back 4. That's a pain in the ass. So I would think about what lighting you want where, obviously, as I said in previous videos, but more importantly after that is think about the actual light. I brought these only like a week ago because I knew where I wanted the lights, but I didn't know what lights I wanted. If you know what lights you have and have them, if you can afford to do that, then you can save yourself the faff when you're installing the cladding. You can cut the holes for the wiring and make sure that all the wiring is nice and neat and out of the way before you do what I did, which is clad the whole thing and then think, oh shit, and then have to cut out like holes and stuff. It works and it's fine, but it just makes your life a lot easier if you knew what lights you had before. I've also built the sort of cupboard space here where the fridge is going to be. Slight hiccup with the fridge. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to have the one that I got. Basically we've got a spare one, but there's some vents, as it's gas, well, three-way. It can use gas. It needs vents. It needs to go out the back, but because of where the structural pillar is of the van, where that bit of wood is, with the big red lines, it can't just go straight out the back. So, don't know. So I think the next sort of things to do really is I'm going to work out how I'm going to bring the cladding down. I think what I'm going to do is sort of have some sort of block, some sort of supporting block here, and then the cladding's going to come over the top of it, and then I can screw into that supporting block. Not quite sure how that's going to work. I'll figure that out in a minute. I'll do some test pieces. Then I'm going to bring the cladding down to the side of the van, or side of the bed even, sorry. Sort of make up the bed frame a bit more so that mattress is solidly in there. And then probably start boarding bits out, whether it be the backs of the walls, or sort of around the seating area. And then the shower room's probably going to have to wait until I've got a shower tray, because the size of the shower tray dictates obviously the size of the shower, but then it will dictate how big the door is into it, because I kind of like the idea of having a double door, so you can have a door that opens this way, sort of blocking off the cab area, into the shower room, and then you have a sink of some sort, and then maybe a removable portaloo, not a fixed one because we won't be using it. It would just be like if you need a piss in the middle of the night or something. And then possibly like a sliding door, like a small sliding door, that then you can get into the shower, and then you can pull that sliding door shut again, or close the big door, sorry, pull the sliding door, and then you're sort of enclosed. And then hopefully the use of this fan should suck all the moisture and sort of warm air out, so that obviously when this is properly like mermaid board and insulated and sealed, you don't have any of that condensation or moisture coming back out into the actual van, where it can like cause damp or rot, etc. So I need to think about that, so I think I'm going to leave that for the time being. Also, sort of before I do start that, I need to have all the water or gas and blah blah in, so I know where pipes and etc. is going to go. Similarly, can't really start the cupboard space other than sort of making it more structural by putting some cross beams in, etc. Until I've got the fridge in, because that dictates the height of where I can start to use for cupboard space, etc. So the only real thing I can do is sort of work out the seating area and board up bits and make my holes, and maybe do the back garage bit. And I could start the kitchen as long as I make it so that I can get it in and out, which is probably the best way to do it anyway, really, so then I can make sure it's like solid rather than building from, like I've done everything else, but that's because it's been sort of height dependent. If I build it in the garage, I can take it in and out and make it fit, and then I can just screw it down at the last minute on the bands and etc. So yeah, top tip for this one is the wiring. Buy the lights first, then you know how big they are, what lights they are, what holes you need to cut out, etc. Yeah, that's about it.